Now on 8 News at 4, calls for a disturbance in a Chesterfield neighborhood end with shots fired and a person dead. But how they died remains unknown. Tonight, where this investigation stands. And dozens of teachers call out of work, leaving school leaders stepping up to teach students. But why were so many teachers absent?
And it's opening day, opening night, I should say, for the Flying Squirrels in a brand new stadium. After 40 years of memories at the Diamond, CarMax Park is ready to shape the future of baseball in the River City. 8 News anchor Deanna Allbrittin and 8 Sports Director Nolan Knight are joining us live from CarMax Park with special coverage from this historic event.
Well, the Flying Squirrels are putting on the finishing touches.
Today, how the team plans to keep the home fans pulling for the Squirrels for years to come.
Have fun, go nuts!
And diamonds may not be forever, but the legacy and name lives on beyond the park. How the stadium is serving as a centerpiece for the up-and-coming Diamond District.
Plus, talk about squirrel power.
Start the wave!
If there were no women here, this place would fall apart.
The ladies of the team leading the charge.
They run the show.
At the head of the pack for minor league baseball, the many firsts they're bringing to the table.
Live. Taking action. 8 News at 4 starts now.
Thanks for joining us for 8 News at 4 on this Tuesday evening. I'm Eric Phillips.
And I'm Heather Hope. We'll get to all of your top stories in just a moment. But first, we got to send things right over to our chief meteorologist, Matt DiNardo, now joining us live from the newly opened CarMax Park. Matt.
It is spectacular out here. Good afternoon, Eric and Heather, and good afternoon, everyone. It is a beautiful sunny day, and we couldn't ask for better weather for baseball. Now, it is going to get a little bit cooler as we get into this evening. We're excited to be here for the opening of CarMax Park, and we'll be showing you all the sights and sounds over the next 2.5 hours. But let me show you what Squirrels are going to end up with a victory tonight. Squirrels are going to end up with a victory tonight. 52 degrees. Most, though, will be played 52 degrees. Most, though, will be played in the 40s. You see 47 at the 7th inning stretch. Will be about 46 at the bottom of the 9th at final out. And here's the key, folks. You're going to probably want a sweatshirt or some sort of lightweight jacket as we go through the evening, because it is going to get a little chillier. The breeze that we have will also kind of slide down just a bit. Hey, we're 3 right now in Richmond, 64 in Petersburg, 6 in Ashland. Most of us in the low 60s. It really is pretty pleasant out here. Keep in mind there is a freeze warning in effect for tonight for areas to the north and west of Richmond. I'm expecting our overnight low to drop back down to 34, and then tomorrow, and there'll be some places, by the way, in the 20s, and then tomorrow, sunny skies, a touch cool for this time of year, 58 degrees, but then a nice warm up. We're going to talk about that. Plus, we'll be talking to the man himself, Parney, in just a couple of minutes. Let's get back over to you guys in the studio, Eric and Heather.
All right, Matty D, thanks very much. And your other news tonight, one person is dead after an officer-involved shooting in Chesterfield County this morning.
Police say they were called to a neighborhood disturbance which led to gunfire.
Around 9:45, officers responded to the 4000 block of Fry Terrace, where police say they tracked down a man holding a, quote, long gun on a neighbor's property. An officer then pulled out their weapon and fired at least one shot. It's unclear whether the round hit the man, but he retreated into his own house where officers found him dead. We're still working to find out whether the man fired back at the officer or whether they gave the man any commands to drop his gun. An investigation is ongoing right now, and we will keep you posted both on air and online.
Over in Petersburg tonight, city leaders are discussing removal plans for the press box and bleachers at Cameron Field. And an email shared with 8 News, city leaders say they are aware of the press box and bleachers condition and are working on removing both. However, a timeline for removal was not shared. A spokesperson also said, quote, under DCR regulations, that is in a floodplain, so the city is not allowed to rebuild or upgrade the structures in the same location. That area will become green space.
Richmond teachers and district leaders are evaluating what could have been done better after more teachers called out yesterday than normal. Students and staff originally were off yesterday for Easter Monday. In February, the school board voted to reopen schools after several classes were canceled because of inclement weather. After the district was forced to fill the gaps, Andrea Bryant, president of the Richmond Education Association, says yesterday could have been prevented.
My biggest concern is the safety of the students. Fortunately at my school, very few people were out. But I know some schools, like I heard the stories about like Henderson Middle and, how there were so few that they had to split the boys and the girls into the gym and the library or the cafeteria.
During Monday's budget town hall meeting, leaders say they are open to discussing how to mitigate shortages, communicate backup days, and add more weather days to the calendar.
Chesterfield County Public Schools is kicking off kindergarten this week. This is a chance for parents to visit the elementary school their child could soon attend and get information on riding the bus, going through the cafeteria line, and much more. To find your school, just head to Chesterfield County Public Schools website. And happening right now, Hanover parents have a chance to make sure their child's car seat is installed correctly. Just head to the Hanover Health Department on Washington Highway. There you'll find health officials and officers available to check out those car seats. This free event wraps up tonight at 5:30.
Yes, that installation can be tricky. New details now on the war in Iran. President Donald Trump saying, quote, "A whole civilization will die tonight," end quote, if a deal with Iran is not reached.
That deadline is set for 8 p.m. tonight. The task, reopening the Strait of Hormuz.
If the Strait of Hormuz is not reopened, President Trump says every power plant will be destroyed. Some experts warn strikes on infrastructure could be a violation of international law. When asked if there were concerns of committing war crimes, President Trump said there were none. Lawmakers now hoping the president is using the threats as bluster.
We now know the Strait of Hormuz is a leading cause to gas prices going up. Here at home, the average price for a gallon of gas is $4.07. That's slightly lower than the national average, sitting at $4.14. As always, stick with 8 News on air and online for the very latest.
And the day ahead, Governor Abigail Spanberger is throwing out the first pitch at tonight's Flying Squirrels home opener. It'll be the official first pitch inside the new CarMax Park Stadium. We know there will be thousands of people there and plenty of fun in store. And as we know, today is the day baseball fans across Central Virginia, heck, across Virginia in general, have been waiting for. CarMax Park has been years in the making, and we are live for the home opener. So let's send things back out there.
8 News anchor Deanna Allbrittin and 8 Sports director Nolan Knight joining us live. Hey guys.
Yeah, hey guys, what's up? CarMax Park is officially open for business, but the journey to get here came with some bumps along the way.
Yeah, this is where sports and news really does collide. The team had its first season here in Richmond in 2010 with a new stadium promised within 5 years. But over the years, the city looked at options for a new stadium in Shockoe Bottom or even in Manchester, but then nothing materialized for almost 15 years. Then in 2024, Major League Baseball gave Richmond 2 years to build a new stadium and meet facility upgrade requirements, or the Squirrels were gone. Mayor LeVar Stoney's administration found a way to do it and build up the area around the diamond using $130 million in city-issued revenue bonds. But that plan is risky because for taxpayers, you have to know that that relies on the stadium generating enough money to pay the investors back. Despite a lawsuit, though, the city moved forward with that plan in July of 2024. But then another money controversy this past February. Navigators Baseball, the Squirrels ownership group, claimed the city still owed $6.5 million.
Additionally, the Navigators agreed to outfit CarMax Park for VCU baseball, who were meant to play at this new stadium. But in January, VCU announced the team would not play here at CarMax Park in 2026 for the previously agreed upon $2.5 million. Some major ups and downs there for sure.
Oh, yeah, one hurdle after another, and we were here reporting all of it. Where it's situated, it's meant to be the all built. Where it's situated, it's meant to be the all built out, and that broader project, here it stands at this point, and what's next?
I'm behind.
Here it stands at this point, and what's next?
I'm behind.
It stands at this point, and what's next?
I'm behind me will be a Passaic district, but behind me will be a Passaic district. But long before for its sake district, but long before that, redevelopment of the future of sports and entertainment destination will eventually be well underway.
The city's economic development team says multifamily housing, office retail spaces, and restaurants will be built around CarMax Park. This includes about 160 affordable housing units in the area. Director Angie Rogers says this will be done in phases. Infrastructure will start rolling out in 2027 and other deliveries between 2028 and 2030. Rogers says the city will net more than $400 million in revenue from CarMax Park over a 30-year period. Lifetime resident Tamoria Davis says she used to come to the old Diamond Stadium frequently as a kid and is excited about the plethora of things to come.
It'll be something for tourists. Some people who don't know Richmond, Richmond is for lovers, so it will bring a different type of feel to Richmond so that people wouldn't be afraid to come to Richmond. They'll actually have some things that'll be a good attraction to Richmond.
That first phase should be complete by 2032, with other phases coming after. In Richmond, Jamal Williams, 8 News.
Yeah, and beyond Arthur Ashe Boulevard, there are other parts of the city that are transforming as well.
Yeah, so if we take a look at things, right now Browns Island is closed, as many people may know, because it is undergoing a $30 million improvement project. By October, that reimagined space should have a place for kids to play, permanent restrooms, not just porta potties, shaded areas, and more native plants.
And just up the hill, it's been almost 1 year since the Lions Amphitheater opened in June. Dozens of performers have welcomed over 200,000 fans to the Richmond Riverfront for the venue's first ever season. And in less than a week, the 2026 season kicks off with rock band Alabama Shakes, and a parking garage could actually be there, is coming as soon as well.
Yeah, so that'll help folks get there with a little more ease. Yeah. And in Scott's Addition, CarMax Park's neighbor, hundreds more apartments and dozens more businesses coming just last month. City officials broke ground on a $144 million, 366-unit mixed-use community on West Moore Street, which is why this year the city started enforcing timed parking zones there to keep up with the area's, quote, rapid growth.
Yeah, and the growth stretches beyond this city, too, right? Since 2020, more than 60,000 people have moved to Central Virginia. And looking ahead, there's a lot more to come.
Yeah, so from Lego's distribution center in Prince George to potential large-scale developments in Chesterfield and Henrico. So I asked Ben Rothrock, the Squirrel's chief operating officer, if CarMax Park is ready for that growth.
There could be something down the line. I mean, obviously, design teams are tremendous these days. Like, they know how to build upon what they have structurally in place. We've kind of talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, and still ahead, squirrels don't hibernate, and that's clear with this team. We're taking you behind the scenes, showing you how the crew stays busy during the off-season.
Plus, talk about squirrel power, how the women behind the scenes are making history just by being here, and the projects they're proudly putting their names on. Heather, Eric.
Who runs the world?
Girls.
You're watching 8 News at 4. We are taking action
on this opening day, so stay right where you are. More 8 News at 4 returns in a moment.
Oh, that favorite ballpark sound. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us for 8 News at 4 for opening day at CarMax Park. I'm Deanna Allbrittin.
Yeah, and I'm Nolan Knight, and it's about that time that we check in on that Storm Tracker 8 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Matt DiNardo. Matt, what's up?
Nolan, what a great day for baseball. I mean, thanks so much for having me out with you guys. This is incredible. As you can see, of course, the Squirrels taking batting practice, fielding, getting things going. Really a great afternoon so far. It's going to turn into a fantastic evening. I'm going to step just to the side here, and we want to talk again about the Squirrels forecast, just so you can see exactly what we're looking at tonight. It is going to be around 52 degrees for that first pitch at 7:05. Once we get to that seventh inning stretch, we're in the almost mid-40s. Certainly by the final out, we're in the mid-40s. So as I mentioned, I think a sweatshirt's a good idea. Maybe even a light jacket. Dress warm. Better to have too much than not enough, right? That's kind of one of the things we're talking about. And then as we go through tonight, one thing to keep in mind is we do have a freeze warning in effect for a good portion of central Virginia, especially to areas to the west and northwest of Richmond. You see the areas covered in that kind of purple color. Amelia, portions of Prince Edward County, Buckingham, Cumberland County, all areas to the north and west, western Hanover County. And that's because we have the potential to see temperatures tonight. Richmond, I think we're dropping back down to around 34 degrees, but you're going to be looking at some areas in the upper 20s. Culpeper, Orange, Madison, maybe even Louisa, maybe Charlottesville as well. So you kind of get the idea. I think many of us will wake up to a little bit of a frosty morning tomorrow, so keep that in mind. Hey, right now it's gorgeous out there. 63 Richmond, 63 in Petersburg, 61 in Ashland. You got to love this weather for sure. Let's talk about what's going on. We'll bring up that forecast again for tonight. Clear skies, cold, that freeze warning to the west, 34. Tomorrow, we're looking at beautiful weather, sunshine, and right about 58. So a little bit cooler than where we should be for this time of year. Just keep that in mind. Let's just quickly go over to the future cast. Actually, I'm going to bring up the entire forecast. So we start off at 37 tomorrow. We're going to go all the way up to 58. Sunshine across the board. Just an absolutely gorgeous day. And when you look at this 8-day forecast, same thing. We are talking about sunshine here for the next 8 days. There are no raindrops in that forecast, and we climb into the upper 60s on Thursday, 70s, 80s, and even mid-80s. Nolan and Deanna, just fantastic weather for tonight and all the home games for the Squirrels this week and weekend. Back to you.
Yeah, it really was, Matt. We were actually in like long sleeves earlier and jackets because it was chilly out here, but perfect weather now and great weather for the Squirrels to be scurrying around.
Yeah,
and speaking of the Squirrels staff, the front office has been quite busy this season, but the women have been especially busy, and there are more women on this staff than the total staff for some other minor league teams. So 8 News producer Lindsay West went to see what history these women are making for the team.
Start the week. We're going to send it all the way down the stadium.
You're hearing a female voice in the stadium all the time between Megan, our on-field MC, and Bianca and the PA. You're surrounded by female voices, and I think that's really impactful for young girls to see.
I know we can get louder. Come on, first.
My name is Sam McCluskey, and I'm the Director of Partnership Solutions and Marketing.
I'm Megan Angstedt. I go by Megs, and I am our Executive Director of Fan Engagement.
My name's Caroline. Caroline Phipps-Irwin. I am the Director of Promotions and Entertainment. As a staff, the Flying Squirrels, we have over 20 women working in our front office, which stacking up to the rest of the industry as a whole, we're in the top 4 or 5 in all of minor league baseball. When I started, there was 4 women in the office, including me. I'm the first person to have a baby here, and I never thought that this would be possible when I started working here. I never had anyone to look up to that had done this. I'd never met anyone in this industry that had started a family that was a woman.
Caroline is such an amazing example of someone who did have to pave a way. Watching her go through a season pregnant, it's a demanding job, what we do, the time commitment and physically demanding, and just continue to like crush her job. And now watching her be a new mom, it really just shows anybody in the next generation that it is possible, and they're able to do it, and they're able to be a leader in this industry.
It's the best feeling. It's my favorite part about my job, is being able to work around and be supported by amazing women.
Can you tell me a little bit about some women-led efforts going into CarMax Park that you are excited
Everything.
about?
We're kind of leading that charge a little bit. Megan heads up our community engagement and is out and about with Nutsy and Natasha every single day.
Natasha, you have a really cool jersey on. Can you explain what it is?
Absolutely. We are the first minor league baseball team to take our female mascot and give her her own brand.
That whole unveil and all of that was championed by the women in our office.
It's not just kind of the logo for merchandise, but it is going to be an on-field look for our team to wear. So we are the first minor league baseball team to showcase our female mascot character as an on-field brand.
For us to be able to be for our fans, for our staff, for our fans, for our staff, for our fans, for our staff.
And coming up next in sports, Nolan Knight joins actions to the brand new facilities. Actions to the brand new facilities.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back into 8 News. I'm Madeline Frentress, reporting out here for our special coverage of the Richmond Flying Squirrels opening day here at CarMax Park, where everything from the food to the seats to the views is top of the line. So it's no doubt the fan experience has gotten a huge upgrade. But we wanted to know what the team thinks about their new home. This year's Flying Squirrels roster is composed of 9 newcomers and 19 returners who played at the Diamond last year. A few of those returners include Shane Rodemaker, Scott Bandura, and Turner Hill, who, when they stepped into the completed CarMax Park for the first time last week, gave it very high praise.
I mean, it's got to be the best in the minor leagues. I mean, like I said, I haven't been to all the parks, but like this is just insane compared to the Diamond. I mean, it's going to be night and day difference.
Yeah, we were blown away. I mean, we saw it getting built a little bit at the end of last year, but we had no idea that it was going to be like this, especially, I mean, you see everything out here, but even inside is probably even better. As far as the clubhouse and the cages, the weight room, it's top of the line in every aspect.
Yeah, I mean, I'd seen pictures, and it looked cool in the pictures, but it doesn't do justice. I mean, this place is unreal. I mean, I'm fresh off. I just walked in, so still kind of my initial reaction, and this place is unbelievable.
Along with a full tour, the team got acclimated to the new park last week, throwing some pitches, doing some hitting, just getting a feel for how the park would play. And Flying Squirrels manager Dennis Pelfrey told us the upgrade will make a world of difference for him and the players just as much as it will for the fans.
You know, I made a comment earlier, it's like going from the iPhone 1 to the iPhone 17. As much as I love the Diamond and the character the Diamond brings, and I think it'll always hold a place in my heart, but everybody likes new toys and new things, right? And I think that this is only going to make that experience even better for the fans, which is going to in turn make it even better for the players.
Yeah, we've been out here for a little while now. We've been soaking it all in, and we can already tell it's going to be a huge upgrade for both the fans and the team alike. Deanna, Nolan, what can we expect coming up?
Thanks, Madeline. iPhone 1 to iPhone 17, you've seen the facilities. Is it that big of an upgrade?
Yeah, it really is. It's incomparable. I mean, you're talking about weight rooms that had leaks in it across the street, and now it's probably the best in the minor league baseball. So it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Anyway, stick around, guys, because coming up after the break, we got to check on your walkout weather with Chief Meteorologist Matt DiNardo.
And we'll be sending things back inside to
Live. Taking action. 8 News at 4 starts now.
Welcome back to 8 News. We are bringing you special coverage live from CarMax Park on this opening day. I'm Deanna Allbrittin.
Yeah, and I'm at Nolan Knight, and it's time to check in again on the latest forecast. Let's send things over to Chief Meteorologist Matt DiNardo. Hey, Matt.
Nolan and Deanna, good afternoon. It is a beautiful one out here as we've been talking about practice or infield practice and batting practice now over for the Flying Squirrels, and we'll be seeing the Altoona Curve take the field in just a bit. Let's talk about what's going on for tonight and talk about that forecast. It is going to be spectacular here. First pitch. Even Parney says good job with this forecast. 52 degrees at that first pitch. By 7th inning stretch, we're looking at 47. The final out 46. So you need to get to the merch store and get yourself a good Flying Squirrels jersey and a hoodie to stay nice and warm as we go through tonight. Just a little idea for you. All right, let's talk about what's going on. I know that if my daughter Alex was here, we'd be doing the same thing. 63 in Richmond right now, the same in Emporia, 57 Norfolk. We're looking at 55 DC, mid-60s to 70s. You go from Raleigh down over towards Charlotte. We have another cool day tomorrow where temperatures will be in the upper 50s to near 60, and then we're going to start to see that warmer air coming on in. Hey, we have a freeze warning in effect for areas to our north and west tonight. We're going to drop back here in Richmond down to around 34, but areas just to the west will be 32, even 29. So a frost freeze likely in many areas. And then tomorrow, just an absolutely gorgeous day. We're looking at lots of sun up to about 58, but then you're looking at 67 and 76 coming our way. Eric and Heather, I wish you guys were out here. It is spectacular. Let's go back over to you.
It looks really nice out there, Matt. We are indeed jealous. We'll check back with you. 8 News is your local election headquarters.
And with Election Day just 2 weeks away, the Yes campaign says they are confident about where things stand when it comes to Virginia's redistricting referendum. In a call with reporters, Karen Charles Dongo, campaign manager for Virginians for Fair Elections, the main pro-redistricting campaign, says despite early voting data showing higher turnout in the 5 congressional districts currently held by Republicans, the Yes campaign believes that they have the advantage when it comes to early voting. Dongo says people in the Democratic areas are also turning out, plus not everyone who voted in Republican-friendly districts is actually a Republican. Finally, Dongo says they're launching a statewide push to drive turnout with additional satellite voting locations, opening in many pro-Democratic areas this weekend.
Across the Commonwealth, the data is clear. Virginians are showing up, they are voting early, and they are voting yes.
Early voting continues through April 18th. We reached out to Virginians for Fair Maps, the main campaign opposing redistricting, for this story, but did not.
Voting turnout. As of yesterday, more than 715,000 voters have cast their ballots for the redistricting referendum. That's according to the Virginia Public Access Project. Early voting turnout for the redistricting referendum is trending very similarly to the November general election. Chesterfield residents who have not cast their ballots yet will have a chance to do so this weekend. Early weekend voting starts this Saturday at the Central Library and North Courthouse Road Library. Both libraries will be open Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Both locations will also be open on Sunday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you can't make it this weekend, there will be another opportunity on April 18th. However, the only library that will be open then will be the North Courthouse Road Library.
We got all the options for you, and if you've been eyeing a summer vacation but don't want to worry about those long lines at the airport, AAA is hosting several TSA PreCheck enrollment events later this month. There you'll be able to sign up for TSA PreCheck, which will help you avoid long lines and other travel perks. These events are happening April 21st through the 24th at the AAA Swift Creek office on Whole Street Road. There will also be events happening May 11th through the 14th at AAA's Colonial Heights office on South Park Boulevard. There will be 2 time slots for all events. You can either stop by between 9 a.m. and noon or 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. For more details, just head to AAA.com/TSA.
Happening now, Hopewell is launching a new community fund aimed at providing relief to families in need. The Family Stability Fund will support families experiencing crisis in Hopewell, Prince George, Petersburg, and Dinwiddie. Everyone will be able to contribute to this fund, including community members and businesses as well. We're told a $25 donation means a family getting formula or diapers for their children, and a $250 donation would help a family avoid being evicted. For more information, head to the Health Families page on hopewellva.gov. Still ahead on 8 News at 4, from dirt to dreams. We're taking a journey back in time, breaking down the step-by-step building of CarMax Park.
Plus, enjoying the new stadium with your 50 closest friends is now possible. A look inside hospitality suites straight ahead.
You're watching 8 News at 4. We are taking baseball action tonight.
Take a live look there outside at the beautiful ballpark and stay right where you are. More 8 News at 4 in just a moment.
Well, today is the big day. CarMax Park is open for business. This new stadium has been a long time coming.
Yeah, it really has, and that's why you can hear the callers shouting out folks to get their nutshell to get that piece of history. And so let's take a trip down memory lane and what it took to get here. We saw that, as we reported back in September of 2024, city and Squirrels leaders broke ground on the new facility, officially marking the start of construction. In January 2025, the first steel structures went into the ground, along with mechanical and electrical plumbing. By February, the main concourse was being built out.
And now look at your screen now for a bird's eye view of the changes as they took shape. By April 2025, concrete was being pulled. Multi-level structure had already taken shape. Structure had already taken shape.
Framed outfield seating going in, and the 30 that, folks,
view from just last month. With opening day right around the corner, crews were putting on the fit. With opening day right view from just last month. With opening day right around the corner, crews were putting on the finishing touches. Staff were installing tables, chairs, and other furniture on the patios. And today we're sitting right here in the outfield for the final product of CarMax Park. And let me be the first to say, and probably not the last, it's beautiful. It's stunning. It really is.
I mean, just look at the grounds right behind us. The field is just gorgeous. And so we have a lot that folks can soak up when they come here. And so if you're looking to do that with friends, families, even coworkers or clients, and have a little bit of cash to spend, you can level up your experience here out in the ballpark in a hospitality suite, from a front row seat to the action to staying cool in the outfield. We got an inside look into everything CarMax Park has to offer for your group.
We're in one of our dugout suites, so these are going to get you right up on the action.
Wow.
This is called the landing, so it's got a great view. This is a very social space. This is also going to be a really good spot to catch a home run ball. I think this is where most of them are going to probably end up coming.
So where are we now?
We're heading into one of the rail car suites. It's a really nice day to just be outside, and that breeze coming through here feels really good. But this is the Atlantic Union Bank Lounge. This is, it's a massive room. This is going to be an area that's in use all year, like a lot of places in this ballpark are. There are going to be concerts in here. There will be seminars, conventions, all kinds of stuff going on here.
All right, so we're coming in from the concourse.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite areas of the ballpark. And what's really cool is this is an area that is open to anybody with a ticket. So you've got a bar over here, and you've got all these tables and chairs. Anybody can just come in and hang out. This spot's called the backstop.
Squirrel staff tells us several hospitality suites are already completely sold out for the season. And to see our full tour of CarMax Park, including the different seating options, scan the QR code on your screen right now.
And that full tour does show everything from the cheap seats, some of which we're actually right in front of. These are the $10 seats, to those more expensive options. And that's why we want you to be able to see everything you have. And that's why they were able to sell out as well, because there are options. But to get to that sellout point, the Squirrel staffers off season was quite a bit busier than it typically is. Folks like Trey Wilson and Megan Angstadt that keep the party going all year round. Wilson is a broadcaster during the season and also oversees the communications department. Angstadt is the voice you often hear on the field, especially during those wacky games. And she is also in charge of events aimed right at the heart of the community.
We're excited to bring you everything Flying Squirrels baseball. I oversee our public relations and our communications department, the website, help with marketing, do some help with social media and promotions.
We jump right into events for our charity. We do a big Halloween event, and we do school programs, specifically our Go Nuts for Reading program. So we take Nutsy and Natasha out to over 100 elementary schools throughout Central Virginia.
I'm great.
Great, thank you.
All right, that's so cool. I need to know more about Go Nuts for Reading. You know how much of a bookworm I am. I want to be along for the ride when Nutsy and Natasha go and check out a place. Well, now we want to send it over to Maddie D for another check of your forecast.
Yeah, before we get to the forecast, though, you can see who's with me. Uh-oh, there he is. The man, the myth, the legend, Parney Parnell. Parney, first of all, thanks for joining me. 2009. You sat up there and announced the Squirrels.
You're going to send me into PTSD right now.
I am, but you sat up there and said, hey, the Squirrels are coming, brand new minor league organization. We're excited to be here in Richmond, Virginia. And you guys were promised in short order we would get a new stadium. That short order is now whatever year it is,
2026, Matty.
16 years later. How does it feel when you walk through this park?
The whole day, Matt, has just been an unbelievable, like walking in a dream. I mean, wearing the sunglasses, not because of the great weather that you forecasted, but because it's just very, very emotional. I'm so happy for the fans, so happy for the city, so happy for everybody. It's just a wonderful feeling.
This is an amazing ballpark. It's like 23rd century. You have great seating with grass seats, back to center field. You have kind of heckle zone, by the way, for the away bullpen. I love that.
And for this one, too.
Well, I don't mean heckle your guys, right? But let's talk about this. I mean, what are some of the really cool things that you like the most in this park?
I think from day one when we got here, we were talking about 360 degrees. So fans can come in tonight and they can walk all the way around and not lose sight of the field. And I just think there's so many different experiences the fans can have. And Anthony Opperman and Ben Rothrock and everybody and the Squirrels are doing such a great job of providing people with different experiences. So you can come here like 20 times and have a different experience.
I know you're going to be busy tonight, but will you have time to soak it all in at first pitch, 7th inning stretch, and really enjoy the game at least a little bit?
Yeah, I've been trying really hard in my new semi-retired life of being a special advisor, senior advisor, to really be grateful for the moments that we have. And this is just an incredible night for Richmond, Virginia. And absolutely, I'm going to take time to make sure that I'm remembering everybody that helped us get to this point, which is a ton of people.
Well, Todd, Parney Parnell. Mr. Parney, my man.
Don't call me Todd.
I know, right? Nobody does. I appreciate your
Hey,
time,
good job. Hey, he did a good job on the forecast there, everybody. How about that?
So how about I need to get to that forecast now? All right, so Parney kind of giving you a little bit about this, the 360 thing. Let me show you what's going on here real quick. Just to give you an idea, we're looking nice out, and when you come here, you're going to see, it's going to be fantastic. Overnight lows tonight. This is going to be some Richmond, 34 to be exact. Some of you to the north and west will be in the upper 20s to low 30s. Could be a little patchy to the north and west will be in the upper 20s to low 30s. Could be a little patchy frost in just a few areas. Here's the big story. There is no real weather, so to speak, in terms of rain or anything like that coming our way anytime soon. In fact, you could see Viper real-time satellite and radar showing high pressure across the Great Lakes, giving us phenomenal weather, not just today, but for the next 8 days. I mean, look at this 8-day forecast coming in. 58 tomorrow. That's about 10 degrees cooler than we should be. Then we're looking at 67 as we go into Thursday. Friday, 76. Saturday, Sunday, 80, 82. And then we're looking at temperatures in the mid-80s as we go into next week. And maybe, just maybe, a late-day thunder shower next Wednesday. And that's all we have going on. So Todd gives you the idea. Parney gives you the idea. Let's go back over to, I know, I love calling him Todd because he hates calling Todd. Let's go back over to Deanna.
Nice to hear from you, Parney. We're now taking a live look over the boulevard, which will soon be choked with cars. We already see folks standing outside the gates wanting to get in. When it comes to parking, though, when you're coming off of Boulevard, officials say many of the current lots around the Diamond will be used, but eventually parking decks will be built as part of Phase 2 of the Diamond District development. Parking costs $10 per car, and you can only pay with a credit or debit card. We'll be back here with more of your news and live at the park in a few moments.
Yeah, she's...
Well, welcome back. Squirrels officials tell us opening day sold out faster than it ever has in the history of the team. So if you didn't land a ticket, you are not alone.
Yeah, you don't worry. There's still plenty in a store for the rest of opening week.
We have several things, including the blast-off bash that is happening each day of the week. And you can see the rest of the events on your screen right now. They are happening all through the week. And we'll have more on this week and what the fans have in store for them in just a moment. But first, back to Eric and Heather.
All right, thanks very much. And of course, they are having a nice, beautiful day out there.
It is a beautiful one.
Yeah.
Matt ordered it special.
Rescue mission involving a wayward of this break. Rescue mission involving a wayward of this break.
Welcome back. A major rescue mission just came to its conclusion in New York City and involved a wayward parakeet. It took a whole team of folks over nearly 3 months to make sure one parakeet could be safely found. Here's ABC's Danny New.
This is May May, who seems to love dancing to Taylor Swift's newest album, but who for months was also flying around New York Central Park without a home.
That's the story of May May, is that everybody contributed sightings.
This story begins in late August when J.P. Borum here joined the rescue mission to catch this parakeet before it got cold.
We can never know where May May actually came from, but May May is a budgie or a parakeet, which means she should be in Australia.
Liz Cabrera-Holtz from the nonprofit World Animal Protection says May May most likely was abandoned or escaped from a pet store, and they've seen similar reports that did not end well when the weather turned cold. However, JP and her friends were determined to not let that happen.
Sean and I were out there, pretty much almost every day.
While May May was cozying up to a flock of sparrows for warmth, JP was making maps like these almost every day to track her movements. Finally, after 10 weeks, May May got comfortable on the ground long enough for JP to come over and drop the net swiftly.
Was that like one of the best moments of your life?
Yeah. Probably the best moment of my life.
For the next 5 months at JP's apartment, May May got to enjoy plenty of snacks. And yes, Taylor Swift sing-alongs, before at last, a few months ago, when a spot opened up at a wildlife sanctuary in Rhode Island called Foster Parrots. JP and Liz drove up to drop her off at her new forever home. And as you can see, she's already got plenty of new buddies in a nice, temperature-controlled environment.
And JP and Liz told me there were a lot of close calls with May May. There was apparently a falcon that was trying to get after her. They had to chase May May out of the street to save her from a car at one point, not to mention the incoming cold of winter. So thank you, JP's net. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
May May with the miraculous rescue. That will do it for 8 News at 4. 8 News at 5 starts right now.
Now, on 8 News at 5, one man is dead and an investigation is now underway after a shooting in Chesterfield. 8 News has been following this story all day long and will break down what we know so far.
Plus, Richmond Public Schools saw a, quote, higher than normal number of absent teachers on Monday. We'll take a look at the reason behind the high call out and how staff believe it could have been avoided.
And the moment we've all been waiting for is here. It's opening day at CarMax Park, and our 8 News crew is there with everything you need to know ahead of the first pitch tonight.
Live, taking action. 8 News starts now.